Welcome back to Global Facts, bringing you the latest news from around the world. Please subscribe to the channel. I bet you didn't know just how high the stakes are in Canada's latest defense standoff. Canada stands at a critical defense crossroads, with the world watching its next move closely. The stakes have never been higher, as the nation faces mounting pressure, both at home and abroad, to modernize its aging air force and reaffirm its role on the global stage. The decision before Canadian leaders is not just about military hardware, it's about the future direction of the country's defense policy, its alliances, and its sovereignty. The government is now poised to decide on purchasing 88 state-of-the-art F-35 fighter jets from Lockheed Martin, a massive $19 billion deal that could fundamentally reshape the Royal Canadian Air Force for generations. This acquisition would represent one of the largest military procurements in Canadian history, promising advanced stealth, speed, and interoperability with allied forces. Yet, it also comes with a hefty price tag and a host of unanswered questions. Once hailed as the cornerstone of Canada's air defense strategy, the F-35 deal has become a lightning rod for controversy. Political parties are deeply divided, with some arguing the jets are essential for national security, while others warn of spiraling costs, technological risks, and the potential loss of Canadian autonomy. Public protests and heated parliamentary debates reflect a nation wrestling with its priorities and values. Prime Minister Mark Carney's government is expected to announce its decision soon, after months of intense consultations with military leaders, defense experts, and international partners. The outcome will not only shape Canada's military capabilities, but also send a powerful message about its commitment to collective security and its willingness to invest in the future. The world is watching as the implications of Canada's choice ripple far beyond its borders, sending shockwaves from Washington to Stockholm and sparking debate in capitals across NATO and beyond. For Canada, the decision is about more than just jets. It's about defending its vast, often remote territory, especially the increasingly strategic Arctic regions, while maintaining the independence to make sovereign choices in a rapidly changing world. The challenge is to balance national interests with international obligations. For the United States, Canada's decision is a crucial test of alliance cohesion and the global dominance of its premier defense project. Washington is eager to see its northern neighbor join the F-35 program, strengthening interoperability and signaling unity in the face of emerging threats. As the world holds its breath, all eyes are on Ottawa. Will Canada stand firmly with its American partner and NATO allies, or will it chart a more independent course, redefining its place in the international order? The answer will shape not only Canada's future, but the security landscape of the entire region. Canada's pursuit of the F-35 has been marked by political reversals and controversy. In 2010, the Harper government announced plans to buy 65 F-35s, but critics slammed the sole-sourced deal and its hidden costs. The Liberals, led by Justin Trudeau, campaigned to cancel the deal and promised an open competition, which resonated with voters. After taking office, they paused the plan and launched the Future Fighter Capability Project in 2017, inviting bids from top aerospace firms. This set the stage for a decade-long debate over Canada's next-generation fighter. The 2025 review of the F-35 deal marks a major shift in Ottawa's strategy, signaling a new era in how Canada approaches its defense partnerships and military procurement. For decades, Canada has balanced its close alliance with the United States with a desire to maintain its own independent decision-making, especially when it comes to national security. Now, the stakes are higher than ever. Under Prime Minister Mark Carney, the government is re-examining the terms of the F-35 agreement with a renewed focus on protecting Canadian interests. Carney's leadership has brought a more cautious and assertive tone to Ottawa's defense policy, reflecting growing concerns about external influence and technological vulnerabilities. The Carney Doctrine now puts Canadian sovereignty and independence first, wary of over-reliance on the US, especially under a volatile Trump administration. With shifting political winds in Washington, Ottawa is increasingly aware that its closest ally could also become a source of uncertainty. The government is determined to ensure that Canada's defense capabilities cannot be compromised by foreign decisions or changing US priorities. Reports of a potential kill switch in the F-35 software raised alarms, suggesting the US could control or ground Canada's fleet. This revelation has sparked intense debate within military and political circles, as it highlights the risks of relying on foreign-made technology for critical defense assets. The possibility that another country could remotely disable Canada's fighter jets is a scenario that few are willing to accept. This vulnerability struck at the core of national autonomy. It has forced Canadian leaders to confront difficult questions about how much control they truly have over their own military hardware, and whether current agreements adequately protect the country's interests in a rapidly changing world. As retired Lieutenant General Yvon Blondin warned, US support for the F-35 isn't guaranteed when needed. He emphasized that in times of crisis, Canada must be able to rely on its own resources and not be left vulnerable to the decisions of another government, no matter how close the alliance. For many in Carney's government, this risk is simply unacceptable. The 2025 review is not just about aircraft, it's about the future of Canadian sovereignty, the ability to defend the nation on its own terms, and the need to adapt to a world where alliances can shift overnight. The decisions made now will shape Canada's security for years to come. Washington has responded swiftly and decisively to Canada's hesitation over the F-35 fighter jet deal, signaling just how seriously the US views this moment. The White House, caught off guard by Ottawa's wavering, immediately convened high-level meetings to assess the potential fallout. Officials in Washington are acutely aware that the F-35 program is not just about military hardware, it's a symbol of trust and shared security between two close allies. President Trump, never one to mince words, has made it clear that any move by Canada to cancel or delay the purchase would be seen as a direct challenge to American leadership. He views the F-35 deal as a cornerstone of the US-Canada alliance, and a potential cancellation as nothing short of a betrayal. For Trump, this is about more than just planes. It's about the credibility of the partnership and America's role on the world stage. The White House has issued stern warnings, making it clear that the F-35 purchase is closely tied to the future of NORAD and broader military cooperation. Senior officials have emphasized that the F-35 is essential for maintaining North American air defense and ensuring both countries can operate seamlessly together in times of crisis. The message from Washington is unmistakable. The stakes are not just financial, but strategic. In May 2025, US Ambassador Pete Hoekstra took the unusual step of publicly warning Canadian leaders that withdrawing from the program would have serious and lasting consequences. He stressed that the decision would reverberate far beyond the defense sector, potentially undermining decades of close cooperation and mutual trust. Hoekstra suggested that Canada's ability to work alongside US forces and the seamless defense of North America that both countries have relied on for generations would be put at risk. Military officials on both sides of the border have echoed these concerns, warning that interoperability and joint readiness could suffer if Canada steps away from the F-35 program. The message from Washington is clear and uncompromising. Backing out of the F-35 deal will come at a high price, both diplomatically and in terms of security. The US is prepared to defend its interests and expects its closest allies to do the same. As tensions rise, the stakes for the US-Canada relationship have never been higher. The outcome of this decision could shape the future of North American defense and the trust between these two nations for years to come. As Canada reconsiders the F-35, the Swedish-made Saab Gripen has re-emerged as a strong alternative. Saab claims the original competition was flawed and is now positioning the Gripen as a path to greater Canadian independence. Unlike the F-35, the Gripen offers operational autonomy and promises final assembly and maintenance in Canada. This would create jobs and boost the domestic aerospace sector. The Made in Canada aspect is a powerful draw for a government focused on sovereignty. The Gripen stands in stark contrast to the perceived dependencies of the F-35 program. Cancelling the F-35 would have immediate political and military consequences. It would strain the Canada-US relationship, as Washington sees the F-35 as a symbol of alliance unity. Such a move could spill over into intelligence sharing, trade, and other areas of cooperation. Militarily, the F-35 was chosen for seamless operations with the US, especially within NORAD. Opting for a different jet could isolate Canada from a network of fifth-generation aircraft and reduce its role in joint operations. The risks of diminished interoperability and communication gaps are real. The F-35 decision carries huge economic stakes for Canada. Canadian firms have secured about $3 billion in contracts as part of the global F-35 supply chain. Cancelling the order could see this work shifted to other countries, threatening thousands of high-tech jobs. The program has fostered innovation and a skilled workforce across Canada. These aren't just assembly jobs, they're in engineering, software, and advanced materials. Losing these contracts would erode Canada's competitive edge in aerospace. The ripple effects would be felt nationwide. Defense experts warn that Canada's aging CF-18 fleet can't wait much longer for replacement. Analyst Justin Bronk argues that further delays risk structural failures and a collapse in combat effectiveness. Switching aircraft now would reset the procurement clock, creating a dangerous capability gap. Proposals for a mixed fleet, combining F-35s and Gripens, are dismissed as logistically and financially impractical. Maintaining two types of jets would double training, maintenance, and infrastructure costs for a small air force. The result? A less effective, more expensive force. Canada faces a defining moment. The F-35 decision is about more than procurement. It's about the country's future role in the world. Prime Minister Carney must weigh the F-35's military benefits and alliance ties against the desire for sovereignty. Proceeding with the deal calms Washington but raises questions about dependency. Cancelling asserts autonomy but brings immediate risks and a dangerous capability gap. The Royal Canadian Air Force is running out of time. Further delays threaten national defence. Whatever the choice, it must be made swiftly to provide clarity and direction for Canada's armed forces.